distracted. I've never seen somebody be undisciplined. Everybody has discipline. There's no such thing as, oh, I don't have discipline. People have discipline. People just choose to be disciplined in the things that's important to them. So allow me to start this video off, you guys, by telling a quick story. Something that happened probably a week ago. I met a young lady and I ended up having a conversation with her. And however the conversation started, I ended up asking her, how did she end up coming to Georgia? And she told me that she came from Philadelphia to Georgia specifically to pursue her business and develop her business. So automatically when she told me that, of course, my senses went off. So I then went on to ask, well, what type of business do you run? So she told me that she was in cosmetics and she did hair, etc. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. So I then went on to ask her, I said, well, can I get your website or your social site so I can give you a shout out? I would love to support you. And her reply was, well, I haven't really got around to getting my website and my social sites up and running just yet. So I was like, okay, that's understandable. So I then went on to ask her, well, how has your clientele been in Georgia versus the clientele that you had back in Philadelphia? And she told me that, well, I haven't really got around to building my clientele in Georgia just yet. Now, keep in mind, you guys, this young lady has been in Georgia for quite some time now. Not only that, as we're having this conversation, she was with a friend, and by the way that they were dressed, I can tell that they probably had just left a party or something. So when she told me that she hasn't got around to developing her clientele in Georgia, automatically I came to the realization that she didn't really have a high value on developing and pursuing her business as she thought she did. Okay? And here's why. Because when something is high priority to you, or when something is a high priority, you make time, spend time, and find time for the things that are highest priority to you, you guys. Not only that, anytime you want to make sure that you're living in congruency to what you say that you want or what you say is important to you, just sit back and do a thorough analysis of your life. Do a thorough analysis of your life, you guys, because your life will show a direct exemplification to what you truly value, regardless of what you say. Because the key is to make sure that what you say you value and what your life demonstrates are congruent. And this is where I see a lot of people being stagnant and paralyzed, and they have no type of awareness of why they're not getting to that next level in their lives, right? It's easy to say what you want, you guys. It's easy to say what's important to you. It's easy to feel like what's important to you to say what's important to you, right? As human beings, we all have that natural inclination. Nowadays, if you go to people and ask them, well, hey, what's important to you, or what do you truly value? Most of the time, people will give you answers that they expect that you want to hear, or they give answers that they feel like they should say, right? And they will say things like, oh, I value, good health, or I value family, or I value, leaving an inheritance for my family. All of that is fine and dandy. But the meat is actually seeing if their current life has evidence that they truly value that, right? Because you make time, find time, and spend time for what's important to you. So when I was having this dialogue with this young lady, and don't get me wrong, you guys, the young lady seemed like a phenomenal young lady. A lot of potential, you guys. Please don't get it twisted. She seemed like she had a lot of potential. It seemed as though she had more of a high priority on going out, having a good time with her friends and partying, which is no problem whatsoever. The problem occurs when you say that one thing is valuable to you, or when you say you have a high priority on something and you cannot go back and analyze your life and see that you're living an exemplification of that, you guys. Literally, nowadays, you don't even have to ask people what's important to them. Just look at what their lives demonstrate. It'll show you what's important to you. People do not procrastinate. People do not push off. People do not never get around to what's important to them, you guys. Okay? So a lot of people have a high value on shopping. A lot of people have a high value on family. A lot of people have a high value on parenting. A lot of people have a high value on watching TV. A lot of people have a high value on partying or doing drugs, whatever the case may be. What you value is what you value, and what's important to you is what's important to you. That's completely up to you guys. However, you guys, when it comes down to achieving goals that you guys have for yourselves, or these desires that you guys have, understand that if a goal or an objective is obtainable, it is realistic, and if it's realistic, it's obtainable. But if your life does not show evidence that that is truly priority to you, you're living a fantasy, you guys, which is why I'm making this video, because I truly do not want you guys to stay in a fantasy world. I want you guys to be realistic with this thing. A lot of people that I know personally are stagnant, paralyzed, have no awareness whatsoever why they're not taking their lives incrementally to the next level. Because they're not making time for what they say is important to them. They're only making time for the things that is important to them. And what they make time for shows exact evidence of what's important to them. So for me to say that I value building wealth or financial wealth, and I cannot go in my life and see how I have evidence of that, I'm in a fantasy, you guys. I'm in a fantasy. And I just use myself for an example. Me personally, I do have a high value on wealth. Wealth building, reading, researching, and disseminating information, you guys. Let me show you something real quick. I brought some things out here, and I'll just show one piece. When it comes down to wealth building, you guys, I've been on my journey for quite some time. I collect precious metals, assets that increase in value, you guys. This is a 1 ounce silver bar. This is just one out of my collection. I believe that precious metals will be very, very valuable in the years to come. So I invest in hard, tangible assets, you guys. I have a high value on wealth building. Let me show you guys something else. This is just one of the books out of my libraries that I'm reading at this current moment, you guys. Okay? I have a high value on reading, researching, studying, teaching, disseminating valuable information. My life shows an exemplification of that. Okay? I'll show you guys something else. This is just half of the list of my goals that I write every night, you guys. Every night, front to back, you guys. I do not go to sleep without writing my goals. I will forever write my goals front and back to the day I have my time of demise. Right? So I have a high value on manifesting and achieving my goals in real time. My life shows an exact exemplification of that, you guys. Anywhere else in my life, I'm probably not as efficient, but that's okay. Okay. Because the only thing that I'm truly concerned about is only living up to my highest values and my highest priorities. Because if you can stay in your highest values and your highest priorities, and they're effective and they're in the lines of goal setting, if your goal is your highest value and your life shows a demonstration of that, you increase the probability on a day-to-day basis of you achieving that desired outcome or income, you guys, literally. So take the time, you guys, to just sit back and really ask yourself, you guys, please, you guys, do this for me. Do this for your kids. Do this for yourself, you guys. It will change the entire trajectory of the way that you live. Look at your life and ask yourself, what do I truly want? What do I truly want before I pass on to the afterlife? What do I want to accomplish while I am still living on this earth? Okay? Because if a goal is realistic, it is obtainable, you guys. Ask yourself, what do you truly want? Ask yourself, what do you truly value? And when you come up to that, when you come to the conclusion of what you truly value, analyze your life and see, are you demonstrating on a day-to-day basis that you truly value that? Because people do not put off things that's important to them. People do not postpone the things that are highest in priority. And people have this thing where they say, well, I can't really focus on my goals. I get distracted. Let me tell you something. When you're focusing on something that you truly have an intrinsic value on, you do not get distracted. You only get disciplined. Understand that people only get distracted when they're doing things that they have no interest in, or they're doing things that they think other people think that they should be doing. right? When you're doing something that is truly congruent and truly valuable to you, you will make time for it. You will not get distracted. I've never seen somebody be undisciplined. Everybody has discipline. There's no such thing as, oh, I don't have discipline. People have discipline. People just choose to be disciplined in the things that's important to them. And you guys can see this. You guys can see this with the vast majority, you guys. So ask yourself, you guys, it takes a high degree of integrity to be honest. Do not lie to yourself, you guys, because you're going to stay confined in this fantasy and you're going to stay year after year after year stagnant. Stagnant. I'm the type of person, I don't listen to what people tell me. I don't listen to what people tell me. I only go off what people's lives demonstrate. That is it. I only go off what people's lives demonstrate, you guys, period. Because your mouth can say one thing, but your energy and your actions will always, invariably, never fabricate and will always tell the truth, you guys. Your words can say one thing, but your actions will always tell the truth. Your actions will never fabricate. And I know so many people like this, and I'm pretty sure you guys probably know too. So take the time, you guys, tonight, you guys. I highly encourage you guys, take the time tonight. Get in your prayer closet, get in your safe space, get in your safe haven, whatever that may be for you guys. And ask yourself, what do I truly, truly want? What do I truly want? And the moment that you come to that answer, you guys, the moment that you come to that answer, look at your life and see if you are making it a priority to live out an exemplification of that. Look at your life and see if there's evidence of your actions that you truly, truly value and want what you say you want. And if you can't, you have to change what you value. Or if you don't change what you value, you have to match your actions to your value so things are congruent, you guys. Because if it's not congruent, you're going to have psychological friction. If it's not congruent, you're going to be frustrated. If it's not congruent, you're going to be confused and you're going to be living in denial. What does denial mean? Don't even notice I am lying. And I truly want you guys to get out of a fantasy and face reality, because whatever you guys desire, you can obtain it. Dearly beloved, great friends, hear me very well. Whatever you guys desire, you can obtain it.